All right, so today is realizing that it's almost impossible to warm the house up in there. Yesterday did pretty okay, but we ran that torpedo heater all day cranking. That snow, that first 18 inches or so of snow that we got was over 3 weeks ago. It's gone nowhere. I got like a little foot clearing right there. And that is still, I'd say that's still a solid 15 to 17 inches. We did get a little snow after that, but that snow's not going anywhere. And my thought is white reflects the sun, so it's not letting any sun in it. So on your roof, if you're heating the inside, will keep the heat in to some extent, I think, some sort of insulation factor on a cold day. But like during the summer, if the sun's hitting the roof, it's going to transmit a ton of heat inside. So I figure if I get the roof raked off and expose that black shingles, the sun will heat those up and in turn put a little crumb of heat into the house rather than keeping it as a very thoroughly insulated cooler. So I think that's going to be worth it. I was avoiding doing it because I didn't want to rake it off and have it all piled beside the house, because as you can see, even just the stuff I've knocked off the Jeep, it doesn't melt. Like, it almost never gets sun right over here. It does right now, because like right now it's got a little sun there, but it doesn't peak here until like 2 hours ago, I think it was. And then these huge pines that are probably 100, 150 feet high, the sun comes up way over there. So this is all being shaded. And then once it gets here, then the sun can hit over here. So I haven't wanted to rake it off and leave a big pile that's just going to turn into a disaster, which we all know what happened when we were trying to work on this wall, and this ground was frozen solid from the snow that I had raked off of it last year. So I think I have to commit, rake it off, get the tractor, scoop it up, move it over, which means I have to move the Jeep, and I forgot to disconnect the battery in the Jeep, so the battery's dead in there because the alarm takes so much juice and whatnot. So I'm going to work on moving the Jeep, raking the roof, and getting the tractor, moving the snow over there somewhere where I don't care if it sits there till June, just so I can get a little heat inside the house. I think it's worth the effort. Wish me luck. So I was just having a thought. I think like Olympic rowers, that row the boats, maybe they should get into a side hustle of roof raking during the winter for exercise. It's probably a lot of the same motions, and it's a good workout. Something to think about. Get paid for it. You get paid good money to rake roofs. Not me, this is mine, so not getting paid nothing. But you can't make good money at it. Off season, think about it. this side where the sun rises and falls on the other side of the house, this side here is still over 2 feet deep. The other reason why I want to do this is on this roof right here, I still have to add the collar ties. And I got to replace a couple of roof rafters ceiling joists right over here. So I don't want to install or work on any of that stuff with all this extra weight on there, kind of flattening out the roof with all that weight. I don't want to lock it in, so I want to make sure it's fully relaxed, tie in all the collar ties, do the ceiling joists, and know everything's good. So that's the other reason for wanting to roof rake it, mainly this section here. But the more black roof I get, the more heat I should get in the house from the sun. Let's get back at it. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, that's the sound of the Jeep. I like the sound of that thing. It sounds pretty good. And I had an issue starting it up with the jump pack. I got a new, like one of those small inverter jump packs, and like it clicks off and on every couple of seconds. And once it fired, I think it was seeing the spike in voltage and kept stalling the motor out. So then once I realized that, I got it started, jumped out and disconnected it real quick. Then it ran like a top like it always does. So weird situation, but figured it out. It's not a problem with the Jeep. That's all that matters. Well, that is a workout. But got the whole front of the house done. Over there, that whole dormer. Well, not dormer, whatever. The jet out over there, that's all done. And then this far side over here. Sorry, you guys are on the tripod side. It's getting wonky. And this whole side here is all done, except a tiny little crumb up at the peak there. But there is a layer of like ice frozen on the roof, so I can't get up there or walk it to hit the very peak with the shovel. But now I got to do the whole back, and the sun's going down, and the temperature is going down with it. So I may tap at the back just a little bit. Let's see. Oh, also, this is the piles we got so far from the front. Yeah. That's the pile there. It's up to the bottom of the window, so that's probably about 4.5 feet, 4 feet, something like that. That pile. And then here, these windows are mounted much higher right here, and the camera's aiming down at it right now. But that's a big old pile all the way over there. So that's going to be a lot of shuffling with the backhoe. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of scoops with the bucket, because the bucket's not very big on that tractor. And I got to be careful not ramming it into the house too hard, and cause any damage to the house. So I'll probably just get the bulk, leave a little bit, but tractor duty will definitely be tomorrow. I'll probably only get a little bit done out back, but I'm going to touch it to see that side gets more sun. I'm going to see if that wants to come off easier or harder than this side, because this side was all crusted over in a couple of different layers. So he had to keep breaking through every like 8 inches. You had to keep breaking through and then scraping the chunks off the bottom. So hopefully the back goes a little smoother. Well, this is like probably 1.5 foot deep over here. So this trail comes further and further away from the house. So I grab the snowblower and there we go. I blew another whole path. That's kind of the ideal area to be standing to be raking it, so I'm not trudging through 1.5 foot or going in my boots and everything else. And I mixed up that last video was shot in regular time, not time lapse, so it's super boring me going to get the snowblower and coming back. So I don't even know if I'll put it in. We'll see. And that is enough of an arm workout for today. That is about half of the roof in the back. Now the rest of it I gotta do from a ladder. The sun's going down, and like I said, that temperature is just dropping fast. So I'm gonna put that away, put the snowblower away, and I'm gonna go warm up a little bit. And tomorrow we'll get the ladder out, we'll rake this, and then we'll spend a ton of time in the tractor. think it's going to be a little warmer tomorrow, though, hopefully. Hope you guys had a good day. And a good Valentine's Day the other day. Well, we're going to work on more snow removal. Like that's the reflection on the snow is snow blinding today. But yeah, I'm going to work on a little bit of that. But before I get started on that, I'm going to work on seeing about moving some of these snow piles with the tractor. Because I got this one here and I got the other one out front. And not sure how well the tractor is going to do with picking it up and it actually dumping out of the bucket, if it's going to be stuck in the bucket and stuff like that. And like I said before, I don't want to be ramming the wall too much. So I'll take a few scoops, see what works, and then if not, maybe I'll come at it with the snowblower and just keep snow blowing it out here in the middle and then just push it. But we'll give it a shot. But check this out. Hear all that? I don't know if you can see it or not, but we got a lot of drippage going on. Look at how much is down to the shingles already. I had a whole layer of like ice on the roof, and that's already melting, coming off today. So that's huge in itself. It's progress. That means there's heat getting to that roof, which might mean there's heat getting inside. So I'm gonna shuffle the truck out of the way, warm up the tractor, start shuffling that stuff, and see what happens. Wish me luck, it goes smooth. Well, that was short-lived. Mr. Ferguson is not happy. It's acting like it's running out of fuel. And you can see a little bit of sediment in the fuel bowl. And now the fuel looks a little cloudy that's in the bowl above it. I keep forgetting in my downtime at night to research part numbers and all that stuff for the fuel filter. And I was hesitant to pull it apart until I had one, in case if a gasket goes bad or something like that. But at this point, he's dead in the water right now. You let it sit a few minutes, it will fire back up, and I could probably get it in the garage. But I think I'm just going to find a drain bucket, get it under there, and I think the drain bucket might be full of ice. Not sure. But either way, I think I'm going to try and pull that glass bowl down and see if I can at least clean the sediment out of it, maybe brake clean the filter out or something like that. So, slight change of plans. Let's see if we can get him back up and going today. If not, I just got to order some pots because it's acting like it's a fuel issue. But we'll find out. And here's what, I'll show you what I'm seeing with the filter. Let's get you off the tripod here. Stay with me. There we go. So you can see that's the fuel filter can or water separator or whatever. You can definitely see there's a bunch of sediment in the bottom now and it looks cloudy. So it acted up on me before, mid using it, running out back, like when I was running at high RPMs, and then it would clear up and couldn't quite tell exactly what it was. And I put fresh fuel in it, and I put the Rescue 911 fuel additive in it. And I believe that the way that stuff works is there's like wax molecules in that additive, and any water that's in the fuel, it traps it into like a little wax ball, and then that makes it get caught in the filter and not get past the filter and into the fuel system. That's what somebody told me once anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have not researched it myself, but it was a knowledgeable friend that was telling me about that. So that could be why it's cloudy, because it's actually taking the water out and turning it into those little wax droplets and plugging up the filter more. But or it could just be bad fuel, who knows. But either way, I'm gonna stop pulling it apart. Let's see what happens. Alright, well that came off pretty easy. And I got my snowplow workbench here set up. And I don't want to get plowed nasty either. But you can see there's all caca on there. Let's see here. How can I do this for you guys? I know I can see what's going on. I just know you guys can't really. Maybe you can kind of see if I do it this way. How's that looking? Let me try to tip you guys in a little. I don't know. I'm working with diesel fuel covered gloves, but you can see it's all milky. And then look at the crud in the bottom. Ew. Remember when Ernest would say that when he got into something nasty? Like, ew. I'll lose the spring. Oh, the chunk fell over with the spring. See how deep that is and nasty. Can you see it? There you go. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm going to dig up some brake clean, flush this out. I'm just going to flush the filter out, see if there's some numbers on it while I'm in there, so I can order another one. We'll get back to it in a minute. Alright, so I didn't have brake clean, but I got carburetor cleaner, and that's better for fuel anyway. So it's kind of a win. Brake clean is a little easier on rubber gaskets and stuff. So we'll just take this rubber gasket off, because once in a while, depending on what the O-ring's made out of, the actually it's in a safe spot right where it landed. Yeah, sometimes the carburetor cleaner will make those swell up. But yeah, let's oh yeah, it's like making brownies in here. Look at this. Look at that. That's nasty. Again, had it been set up better here and in a better environment and less chaos and less stuff on my plate, I probably would have maintained all this. Actually, I know I would have before I started using it. So most of this could have been in here when I bought it. Most likely was, because that's pretty old. And I don't have a lot of hours on this thing. That is straight up sand. See, one of the things with like equipment like this is almost never filled up straight out of a gas pump. And you think about like different people's work environments and how bad they don't take care of their stuff. They have gas cans with no lids on them and stuff like that and whatnot. So you can only imagine cans with no lids, people taking the gas cap off with all dirt on it, because this is a dirt moving machine. It's a perfect environment to get more and more trash in it. I'm not going to get too crazy here because I don't have a ton of carb cleaner. And I don't want to scratch the crap out of this thing because then it won't look good inside afterwards. But right now, keep that from tipping over on me. From what we started with, this will be a million times better. It may not be perfect, but I guarantee you it'll be a million times better. There's a landscape guy I watch on YouTube, Midlife Stockman. Goes around and he cleans out um, like abandoned properties and overgrown yards and stuff like that, like help people out and that can't do it themselves, or like he'll go into an area. He does a lot of stuff out in Detroit, and he'll go in and clean up the properties all for free, you know, because he gets paid from YouTube. And you can feel the weight of this thing, how much crap's in it. And anyway, the reason why I mentioned him, look at the crud like building up off the edge of that just from spraying it a little bit. I'm gonna scrape it with the screwdriver a little. Yeah, so anyway, the reason why I mentioned him is like one of his sayings is when he's done, he always says, not perfect, but better. Because like he's not doing like a professional landscape job, because you can't. It's all overgrown and weeds and roots and dead grass underneath everything and whatnot. But he gives all the properties a fresh start. So like if a neighbor wants to just come over with their lawnmower and to keep mowing it, it'll be easy to maintain, and then it'll really come back to life over time. But his thing's always like, not perfect, but better. And that's what we're going for with this. And this is a paper filter, so I'm being super gentle, just trying to swab some of this out. I don't want to risk poking a hole in the filter, because then anything else coming out of the tank is going to go right into the injectors. So I'm just kind of just letting this kind of just fall through without, I'm not even going all the way into the middle of the pleats. And you can just see all the crud just oozing out of this thing every squeegee I take. Yuck. Yeah, so tonight, this will be too big of a incident for me to not remember. So tonight I will be researching filters for this thing and get them all changed, because I have wanted to change the hydraulic filter. That one's easy. It's right on the outside, and it had writing on it saying when it was changed. And when I got it, it was only a short time before I got it as far as hours. I want to say it was like 50 hours on the hour meter since they had replaced it. So I kind of saw that and kind of wrote it off that the rest of it was maintained at the same time. But that could have just been they had a hydraulic line blow, and then they figured they'd change the filter at the same time. And that's probably the case, because this thing was definitely not changed, not in a long time. And again, I know this isn't right. It's just, we're just going for better. I wonder if I have a little brush. If I had a little brush, I could brush that and make that substantially better. All right, bear with me. Actually, you know what? I saved my old toothbrush under the sink. Hang on, I'm gonna go get that. All right, I'm back. My old worn-out toothbrush. Think I got the mileage out of that? Look at the edge of that all curled over. Probably should have replaced that sooner, but that's okay. And in my storage, 100 miles away, I have all kinds of cleaning brushes and stuff like that. That would probably be a little more ideal for this. But you know my environment out here. It's not perfect. So this is definitely, this is getting in there pretty good. This will definitely make a substantial difference. And again, we're not going for perfect. We're just going for, can we use this thing today? That's what I want to do. I want to continue working. And sometimes these things, if I wanted to just stop and go chase one down, for one, I don't know the area, so I'm going to have to find somebody that has tractor equipment and Massey Ferguson equipment nonetheless, or any pot suppliers that at least sell pots for them, and go down there and stand in line a couple of places, and usually you don't pick the right place the first time, so you can waste a lot of hours just trying to get a filter. So if I can do this, have it take 20 minutes, get me back up and running. Then I can dig up the pot number when I'm sitting on the couch today, not burning daylight. I mean tonight, not burning daylight. Then that's the most ideal way to do it. And even at that, you know, if I don't want to deal with trying to find a local place and drive around during the day and kill hours I could be working in the daylight here, then, you know, as much as I don't totally like it, I could order it on Amazon. Even a little cruddy on the inside. That's not good. See that? Push as much as you can. And we just kind of roll with it, because if there's that much in there, it's already up in the injectors if it's going to be. There might even be another fuel filter in line that I might be wasting my time with this. Who knows? All right. So that's that. And can't forget about that spring. We'll clean that off a little bit. Good thing I saved just a little bit of foot clean, top clean. Ooh, just enough. There we go. And again, I know this isn't right. I'm just trying to get some work done today. And the other thing is I know the consequences. I'm acknowledging the consequences. And if I do cause a problem, shame on me. I'm the one that has to fix it. I'd never risk something like this on a customer's vehicle. No way, no how. Some people would. All right. That's that. Let's take this, wipe this down with a little bit of the diesel fuel that's on my fingers. Put that on there. All right. And we're going to go put this back together. Oh boy. All right. This only takes a minute to go back in, so I don't know if I'll time lapse, but we'll see. All right, so you can hand me over the tractor. She's up and running. Stop. Well, if you can hand me over the tractor, she's up and running, and she seems great at the moment. The fuel that filled in there was nice and clean. There's no leaks back there, so that's a huge bonus. And before, if I held the gas down, it would like rev up, and then it would just like instantly stop petering out. And now it seems like it's holding. Steady now. Let's get back to work. I think we fixed it for now. I'll still have to order that filter. It does look like there's another one further in line, so I'll look up both of those tonight. that's enough of that. I guess the area I was shoveling, I think, was out of camera. But got the bulk of that cleaned up, and I got more to clean up on the far side, but I think I'm going to split from this and get the back of the roof just all raked off now. That way there, once I get the cars shuffled from over there on that side, then I can just start running around with the tractor and do all of it rather than do a bunch, rake off more and do more. So let's go back to roof raking. Oh boy, exciting, isn't it? New England. Why'd I buy here again? Alright, so I had a snowblowed path right here, and I already knocked off a bunch of snow there. Now if I knock off all the rest of that snow up there, which is just about half the roof, that'll be too tall for the snowblower. So I think with how inefficient the loader is, I think I'm just going to take the snowblower now, blow all this further away from the house. My big thing is I just don't want it on the perimeter, like right around the house, to melt and get in the foundation or just freeze there and be in the way of me doing work. So I think I'm going to make a couple of passes with the snowblower, knock off some more, and knock some more off. Because if I just knock it all off, it's going to be too deep for the snowblower, and it's going to be wicked slow going through it. So snowblower, roof rake, snowblower. That'll be the cycle. Let's get started. Man, this is tedious, but we're getting there. It's all done all the way to there. Just got this last section to do. And what I realized when I was snow blowing was the snow falling off the roof. It's dropping 10 feet. And now that it's warmed up a little bit, it's like sticking to itself. So it's like good snowball snow. So it's falling 10 feet and smashing into itself and turning into like rocks. So when I was going through with the snowblower, it was struggling. So now there's a second layer, and then I got to snow blow it afterwards. Hopefully the one yesterday was dropped off. Maybe that was a little solid because it sat overnight and froze again. Hopefully this one snow blows easier. Wish me luck. We'll need it. Yeah, so like I was saying, this stuff falling off the roof and impacting on itself. It's like rock hard. Like, I can stand right on top of it without falling in. Like, that's how impacted it is. Like, come on. So, that is a struggle for that snowblower, I tell you. Well, let's wrap this up. And that is enough of that for today. Roof's all cleared off in the back. All the snow in the front's moved. Most of the snow in the back, I just got the stairs and the bulkhead. I was a little cautious around the kitchen window. I just went in. I didn't want to disturb a rock, have it fly into there. So I'll do more shoveling there some other day. And then kind of cleared this whole area here of just the regular snow that was on the ground. And then this big old mound here, I carved into that a good amount. Basically, I just had to carve it with the metal shovel, knock it down, and then be able to snow blow it. And even at that, it was struggling. But main reason why I'm done with it for right now is I think it sprung a leak on the snowblower. Started noticing a couple of drips like that in line when I was going really slow. So maybe it's just snow melting on the motor and rinsing off a little bit of oil into the water coming off. But why risk it? Because it doesn't look totally dark unless that oil's still really clean. Kind of doubt it. But yeah, that's it. That's that. And this had a bunch of slush and frozen ground under it in there. So now at least this will get a little bit of sun. And maybe tomorrow I'll hit it a little more with the loader. And push that bank back over there a little bit. And I've been peeling the covers off the cars on the sunnier days right now with no rain or anything, just to bake them, dry them out. Whenever I have like the waterproof car covers on them, I'm always worried it's gonna like keep condensation up in the top, either inside the car or on top of the car under the cover. So pull them off on the good days. Yeah, pull them off on the good days. At least pull them back a little so the high points can vent out. But that's it for today. I'm done. And I don't know if you noticed in the time lapse, I kept leaving and coming back. I had like 4 pairs of gloves in front of the heater in the camper. So as they got saturated and freezing cold, I'd go inside, switch them out for another one. When those got saturated, freezing cold, go back in and switch them out for another one. So anyway, hope you guys had a good day. And let's see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be picking up Riley probably later in the day. So we'll see if I can get something done. If not, at least I'm getting Riley tomorrow. Thanks for watching.